Hello everyone and welcome to This Week in Stupid for the 27th of June 2021. Hope you're having a good day. I for one am not, because I just happened to fail my driving test. I did not succeed. I did not manage to get a driving license so that I can buy a car and make Greta Thunberg happy. Because when we pollute, we make Greta Thunberg happy. Think about it. How else would she be able to meet with world leaders and famous actors if pollution didn't exist? So that is a good question, right? But unfortunately, yes, I don't have a car yet. I will not be able to play Need for Speed when there's puddles on the road and splash those innocent bystanders. But the good news is that I will not have to install this very reactionary GPS. So if you are an actual driver, if you do own a car, someone showed me this very, very awful, evil, bigoted GPS.
In a quarter mile, you're going to make a left, okay? We're talking about a left onto Sawtell Boulevard. A wonderful street. I built it with my own two hands. A beautiful street. I know a lot about it. Nobody knows Sawtell like I know Sawtell. You're going to make a left, and if you reach Bernie Sanders, you've gone too far left, okay? If you reach Bernie, you've gone too far. In 3 big, beautiful quarters of a mile, we're going to make a U-turn, okay? We're going to make a U-turn, turn around, or as Jen Psaki likes to say, we're going to circle back, okay? We're going to make the U-turn, the greatest U-turn the world has ever seen at Corpus Christi Drive, and we're going to turn it around faster than the world has ever seen. We're rerouting, or as I like to call it, lost, okay? We've got no clue where we are. We are more lost than a liberal after reading the Constitution. We're more lost than Sleepy Joe after leaving his basement.
What a horrible GPS. Like, what's next? Is it going to sing the American anthem? No, but seriously, like, why do people assume that a progressive man such as myself would even like my car to emanate evil like that? I would even sell it to other people, but unfortunately, Hope Not Hate might think that I'm monetizing hate and they're going to shut me down. So I'm not even going to do that. I'm not going to put hate out there in the world. But speaking of Joe Biden, do you know why I like Joe Biden? Because he's like a man of many talents. He really is. Like here on YouTube, one of the most prestigious positions you can have as a YouTuber is to do ASMR. You guys know what ASMR is? Like what an ASMR channel is? It's like when a pretty lady usually goes to the microphone and whispers to you like this. And it turns out that Joe Biden is an expert at ASMR. Like he's a man of many talents, as I mentioned. And let's listen to him doing his very, very amazing ASMR performance.
I got them $1.9 trillion relief so far. They're going to be getting checks in the mail that are consequential. I wrote the bill on the environment. Pay them more. This is an employees bargaining chip now. What's happening? I got them $1.9 trillion relief so far.
That's hot. That is hot. Hey, Biden, if the economy goes bad and there's not enough taxes to collect from the people, maybe you can open a YouTube channel. Maybe it's going to pay better than president. You're going to just blow people away with your sexy voice. Talking to people like this. And then you can put ads on it. And as you put ads on it, and then you talk louder and you scare the audience. It's very funny. But anyway, right, let's talk about other interesting things. Since that was from CNN, let's see what CNN is doing. Now we're going to talk about the most inspiring and my favorite personality over at CNN. A man by the name of Don Lemon. Like, this gentleman brings me wisdom in my life. He gives me morals when I have none. He tells me how to think when I can't. He just holds my hand in every decision that I make. That's the type of person Don Lemon is. If you don't have a friend, you should watch television and get a friend like Don Lemon. He will guide you through life. Like, he just cares so much about you, he's going to lead you the correct path. Now, recently, he has stated on the Washington Post that we, well, American people, are living in two different realities, black and white people. So I looked a lot into what exactly was he trying to say, right? Apparently, Don Lemon is a millionaire. He lives in a big mansion. And I felt like maybe that's the reality he's talking about. Like, there's the people that get to work at CNN and are rich, wealthy, well-connected, in gated communities surrounded by white people, you know, like, because he talked about black and white, and I was like, well, maybe that's what he's saying. But apparently not, you know, like, this is the problem. See, I can't think, and I need the help of people far wiser than me to help me how to think. And then I realized that what he was trying to say was that he's talking about racism, all right? So it's just a different reality, because even though Don Lemon is rich, wealthy, well-connected, it's still racism that he experiences. So I don't want him to experience racism, all right? Because Don Lemon is my friend. Like, I really care about him. I don't want him to experience any type of hardship. And then I looked at how can I make the world better. And apparently, like, the first step that I can do, like the most easy, basic thing that people like you and I can do is to avoid racist jokes, racist imagery. You know, these are easy things that you can actually perform in order to improve people's lives. And as I'm watching Don Lemon, as I'm watching him, you know, I get to see this picture of him in his own kitchen. And here in the corner, I get to see something.
Hold it. Run that back.
Wait a minute. Go right.
There, freeze that.
Full screen.
Okay, freeze that.
Tighten up on that wheel.
Vector in on that guy by the back wheel.
Zoom in right here on this spot.
With the right equipment, the image could be enlarged and sharpened.
What's that?
It's an enhancement program.
Can you clear that up any?
I don't know. Let's enhance it.
Enhance section A6.
I enhance the detail, and I think there's enough to enhance. Release it to my screen.
Enhance the reflection in her eye.
Let's run this through video enhancement.
Edgar, can you enhance this?
Hang on.
I've been working on this reflection.
Someone's reflection.
Reflection.
There's a reflection of the man's face.
The reflection.
There's a reflection.
Zoom in on the mirror.
You can see a reflection. Can you enhance the image from here?
Can you enhance him right here?
Can you enhance it?
Can you enhance it?
Can we enhance this?
Can you enhance it?
Hold on a second, I'll enhance.
Zoom in on the door.
Times 10.
Zoom.
Move in.
More.
Wait, stop.
Stop.
Pause it. Rotate us 75 degrees around the vertical, please.
Stop. And go back to the part about the...
Do you know what we see? We see the perversive racism, because that's how racism is. It sneaks up on you. Sneaks up on you when you're not expecting. Like, he was turned with his back, and all of a sudden, this black-faced cookie jar just snuck into his kitchen. Stuck into the kitchen like that. You know, I bet it was a Klansman that put it there. Like, when Don Lemon was with his back turned, a Klansman opened the window and put that cookie jar there in order to cast its evil vibes into Don Lemon's home. Like, that is just the worst thing. See, this is why I hate racists. Like, they're so sneaky like that. They will put cookie jars into your house without even knowing. So, Don Lemon, if you're watching this video, please be aware of the fact that you have racist paraphernalia in your house. Someone planted it there. You must remove it right away. Like, cleanse yourself. Cleanse the house. You need to bring David D'Angelo in order to hold a speech into your house to cleanse it from those evil vibes. What, you don't think white supremacy has evil vibes? Okay, then, I guess I'll show you. I'll show you with the magic of the Twitter. You see, there was an article on the Daily Mail with something bad, which happened in Kentucky, and I can't reproduce it here because of YouTube's TOS. They don't really like it when you talk about tragedy. So, I'll just show you the response that a random person gave to the tragedy. I drove through Kentucky once. I stopped at a gas station in the middle of a flat, desolate field. No one else was around. It was noon, but no one was in or working at the store. I was 100% alone, but I could feel this overwhelming, chaotic, white energy vibrating in the air. Promptly, I left. Maybe it's that energy which materialized the cookie jar into Don Lemon's home. Honestly, we need to get to the bottom of this. How did that evil, heinous cookie jar ended up there? Because we need to fight against racism. And honestly, it's a difficult fight. It's a difficult battle. There's always more work to be done. And we really need the hands of corporations in order to do this. Like we need all hands on board, but especially the corporations. And I think the corporation which did the most activism, although, too much of a good thing might be a bad thing, has to be M&S. You see, M&S launched a new gamma of nude-colored bras. And again, I can't really show them here because YouTube, I don't know if YouTube is okay with lingerie, but you can Google it and you can probably find it. Apparently, the death of George Floyd has inspired these bras. So let me get this straight, okay? Let me see if I understand this, because I'm a little bit confused, but I just want to see if I get it straight. Like someone watched that horrific video of Mr. Floyd, in his passing moments, and someone at M&S from the marketing department get like, you know what, like this could really sell some bras. Is this am I getting it correctly? Am I understanding? No, seriously, like tell me if I'm having like a lapse of judgment here, because it's a little bit bizarre. Like I know you guys want me to talk about various stories and various events, but this is something I'm not going to touch with a 10-foot pole. This is just something I'm going to take a step back from. Good, just take a step back, because that news is just like a little bit, just a tiny bit too progressive for me. I'm all for fighting racism, but I just really don't know if that's the way to do it. Again, like I'm not a person that has a lot of intelligence, which is why I need Don Lemon in my life to tell me how to think, and he hasn't said anything on this subject yet. So I guess we're going to do the circling back. We're going to do the U-turn. We're going to circle back to you with that one. In the meantime, I can definitely show you a correct way of fighting racism. Like, this is definitely proven to work. Like, this has a 100% record. Every time in human history it has been tried, it has already worked. You see, back in the day, superstitious people used to believe in God. And they were like, God just like waves his magic wand and makes things happen. Okay? But now, common sense people believe in the government. And the government does actually wave its magic wand. But the problem is that the government requires mana. It requires magical energy. It requires chakra in order to function. And that energy is your cash. So the way it works is that you go to your working place, you work hard, and then the government wants that. It wants that from you. It needs it to survive. It is imperative that your money is taken away from you because you do not know how to spend it properly. You would spend it on frivolous stuff like lingerie. And the government goes like, and it takes your cash from you. Okay? And the government is wise. The government is benevolent. The government is good. The government is just. The government is everything that you are not. And what it does is that it uses that money and relocates it into places that are desperately needing the money right now. Like, for example, during a pandemic. Do you know who needs money right now? Activists. Activists need money right now. Right now they need money. And this is why the most benevolent, the most holy of holy, the most intelligent and awesome Mayor Lori Lightfoot has decided to spend $10 million in order to fight against public racism, which has become a public health emergency. Like, I have seen on the streets people coughing, people just sneezing, and they're sneezing with racism because they're infected by it. But now Lori Lightfoot is on the scene. She's going to go like injecting that wealth into the activist, and the activist will be like right there and be like, hold on, citizen, I have a cure for you. I can cure your racism. I have money from the government, and now I can properly do my job, because without money, I would have turned a blind eye. And that is how the world works. This is like a just society. This is a place where I want to live in, with the hand of the government in my pocket, getting the money out from my starving family and moving it away to the benevolent activist. Now, I know that some of you are racist, and I know this because you have told me so. You have told me that you should check to see how government spending is working out. I mean, that is such a racist concept. Like, can you imagine? Like, who the hell do you think you are to check on the government? I mean, you, the citizen, to look at the government. Like, what on earth do you think this is? But you know, I have decided to do this just this once. I have decided to see what the activists are doing, given the fact that they are going to receive so much money from the holiest of holy Mayor Lightfoot. So let's see what the activists do with that money.
About racism, anti-blackness, or violence. I will use my voice in the most uplifting way possible. And do everything in my power to educate my community. I will love my black neighbors the same as my white ones.
Now that was breathtaking, wasn't it? My opinion, every single dollar well spent. Just like every single dollar spent on a super chat or a donation to my subscribe star is well spent, because you're going to get all the buyer's remorse if you do that. Like, if you donate money to me, I swear to you, I will give you buyer's remorse. Like, the moment you click that send button, you will regret your decision. You're going to be like, why did I give this guy money? What was I think? What was in my head? Gotta shamelessly advertise every now and then. I'm sorry. You know, it's the way the business works. Sometimes these videos get demonetized, and donations is the only thing that I got. Yeah, I mean, maybe get something else than buyer's remorse. You know, maybe you get a little bit of awareness on what the activists are doing, because I can only signal boost. You know, I'm not an intelligent person. I don't know how to do activism. I don't know how to fight against hate. But what I do know is, like, to give a signal boost to the professionals, to help them push the message out. So look at this from MSNBC. It says think. It says think. So it's smart. You know it's smart because it says think. Can you think? No, you can't, because if you could think, you would work at MSNBC. Why aren't you at MSLSD? Huh? Why aren't you working at MSLSD? Because you can't think. So if you can't think, then shut up. I'll let them tell you what to think. Some Trump supporters are co-opting the American flag. Do you know who else co-opted the American flag, you bigot? That's right, Nazis. Nazis co-opted the American flag. Flag Day reminds us that the hijacking of the flag by people who rightly evoke our disgust means it's a mistake to treat the flag as a sacrosanct object. That's right, just put on the flag. Put. Don't spit on the LGBT flag, you bigot. You're supposed to be proud of it. You're not supposed to denigrate it. And the people, like the horrible people that denigrate it in any way, should be in prison. Like, look, this guy, you know, he left rubber tire marks on it. The police are looking for him. I hope he rots in prison. Now, a nation's flag isn't something to be proud of. I mean, the nationality does a lot of bad stuff, okay? Which is why a new flag was proposed by an amazing actress, a brilliant woman that I'm pretty sure you've heard of. Was it an actress or a singer? I don't know. Doesn't matter. Like a famous person. Someone more important than you. Now, the old American flag, it's evil. It's a hate symbol, right? And the reason it's a hate symbol is because it allows the people who can't think to make decisions. What type of society is that, right? I mean, if you look at it, you get the white stars, and each star represents a state, which means that all of the states are represented on the flag. So it's the will of the people. But I told you the problem with the will of the people. They really can't think for themselves. So why we don't skip a step? Why not just have this flag instead? And as you can see on this flag, you have races being represented. And who gets to speak for the race? Well, the activist, of course, which you don't elect. And you don't have to, because he's smarter than you. So you now have activists representing the will of the people. Isn't this a much better thing? Isn't this like an improvement, like the American flag 2.0? Isn't this like how a society should be run as? No more color blindness, no more nonsense. It's just like the activists making the correct decisions at the correct time, and the government taking money away from you and giving it to the activist. This is the type of society that I want to live in. This is like exactly how the founding fathers have envisioned the American project. You know who else is really good at running democracy? The European Union. You thought I forgot about the European Union, the place where I live in. No. They're the most amazing people in the world. Like those people running the EU. I don't even know if you can call them human. They are so enlightened. They are so miles above everyone else. It's just that I think we should call them lords at this point. Because they protect us. They keep us safe from harm, of course. Who brings harm? Well, the United Kingdom. The United Kingdom brings harm to cultural diversity, claims the European Union, because they have a monopoly on cultural diversity. The UK has not. And do you know what the UK is doing? They are showing a disproportionate number of British TV and films in Europe. And because of that, we cannot have that, okay? The European Union is a bastion of cultural diversity and democracy and human rights. And we cannot allow people to see things that are non-EU, to see horrible British shows. And because of that, the EU has decided to step in and they are going to look into this. Why is it that television and streaming services from within the UK are being shown in the European Union? So they are planning to slash the disproportionate number of them. Good thing I live in the EU. Can you imagine? Like without these smart people, I would have watched British television. I would have been brainwashed. Oh my God, I am so glad that a politician gets to make this decision for me on what I watch and what I don't get to watch. Like, do you understand just like how much these politicians care? Like, if they care about what you watch on television, they care about almost every single aspect of your life. Like, they can't sleep at night if they don't micromanage you. Just like a father, just like a mother does to a child, so too does the EU politician do unto us.
Cut the phone lines. Contain the spread of misinformation.
I love it when the phone lines are cut to contain the spread of misinformation. It's one of the greatest acts a government can do. I mean, sure, Chernobyl may have exploded, but there was no misinformation afterwards because the phone lines were cut. I love cutting the phone lines. Private companies can help as well. Like, private companies can cut the phone lines every now and then. It's good for people because you have people like myself, which don't have a lot of brain capacity. We can't think that much. And the less information we get, the better. If we get too much information, we get confused. Now, another thing that I love, also because of my condition, is the abolition of language, like the abolition of words. Too many words, like you get confused all the time. So here's some words you should remove from your vocabulary because they are considered to be violent language. And violence is never accepted. In any circumstance, violence is not acceptable. Like, there is no case in human history where violence was ever acceptable. Okay, when the Americans rose up against the British Empire, unacceptable. That was violence. When the oppressors rise up against never, right? Even when a police officer tries to stop someone from hurting someone, no, because that's violence. Should not have violence. So in order not to have violence, people shouldn't speak. In a place where everyone is mute, there is no violence because they can't speak, they can't communicate. So listen to this list, okay? These are the words you should stop using. Violent language in this list may explicitly or implicitly violent expressions and metaphors that are used casually and unintentionally. These examples can be easily replaced by saying something more direct. So instead of saying killing it, you can say great job or awesome. Killing it implies murder. Why do you have to kill it? You don't have to. Just say awesome or great job. Take a shot at. Why do you need to take a shot at someone? My God, that promotes the Second Amendment. You should say give it a go or try. Another one, this is especially important for all you people in UK right now, okay? Like you can solve the knife crime epidemic easily. Just get people to say try instead of take a stab at. So these expressions needlessly use imagery of hurting someone. Like, you know, when someone comes up and it's like, hey, do you want to take a shot at this? Immediately you imagine like someone pointing a gun at that and taking a shot. Right? That's how language works. You may have not known, but the experts know better. Instead of trigger warning, you should say content note or drop in. Because the word trigger has connections to guns. Again, Second Amendment, horrible. We can give the same heads up using language less connected to violence. When you go at the shooting range, you do violence. So take that into account. Instead of rule of thumb, you should say general rule. This expression comes from an old British law allowing men to beat their wives with sticks no wider than their thumb. So whenever someone says rule of thumb, you had that imagery ingrained into your head because of your ancestors. Like, you need to understand words and concept. They traverse time. We shouldn't even have books. They're redundant. Like, why read the book? You just close your eyes, and with enough power, you will feel what your ancestors felt like going into the Animus during Assassin's Creed back when it was a good game. This is my favorite one, okay? Instead of picnic, you should say outdoor eating, because picnic is a violent word, all right? The term picnic is often associated, and I'm pretty sure all of you make the association, but you're too racist to admit it, with lynchings of black people in the United States, during which white spectators were said to have watched while eating, referring to them as picnics or other terms involving racial slurs against black people. You knew this. Like, admitted that you knew this. Like, you were very aware. And when you said, let's go on a picnic, you are being a sick fuck. Read Robin DiAngelo. Read Robin DiAngelo and meditate on what you did. Get off the reservation should be used with disagree with the group, defect from the group. This phrase is a harmful hit because of its history rooted in the violent removal of indigenous people from their land and the horrible consequence from someone that left the reservation. There you go. I educated you. See, I did my due part. I have managed to enrich you in order to make you become a more decent human being. Your parents didn't do that. Your teachers didn't do that. I did that. I did that. So in turn, you need to do the customary thing and help me out by subscribing to the channel, giving me a thumbs up, or, heaven forbid, donating me. If you're watching this live, you can give a super chat. If not, there's this link to the subscribe star. And I promise I'll use that money to get more driving lessons. I'm going to get more driving lessons so I can get pass the goddamn driving exam. In the meantime, I'm going to be live streaming. So there is a link to the description. If you scroll down, it's in the pinned comment section. Okay, pick a link to my live stream. Just join me there. I wonder if I can convince even like 10% of you to join me there. It's going to be fun, I promise. We're going to have a laugh. If you want to laugh more, live stream right after this.